Welcome, dear learners. And our topic is measurement of surface and interfacial tension. So, in our previous video or in our previous module, we have discussed some of the basic terms required in order to understand the surface tension as well as the interfacial tension and what are its application in the field of pharmacy. So now here in this video we will be knowing that what are the methods in order to understand surface and interfacial phenomena. So basically there are lots of methods by which surface tension can be find out, but depending upon the requirement and depending upon the types of methods which are in practice nowadays, we have mainly scrutinized the three methods. So first one is the capillary rise method, then second one is the ring duonoid tensiometer, and third one is the drop weight method or simply a stalagmometer, as in this method the stalagmometer is used. So the choice of method for determining the surface and interfacial tension depends upon that whether surface or interfacial tension is to be determined, then the accuracy is also essential, and the third one is the size of sample. So depending upon your work or depending upon your experimental condition, that what you need to find out, and then you have to select which type of method is applicable to that. So now let us study first of all the capillary rise method. So you might have studied in the standard 12 regarding this method, that how it is essential in order to find out the surface tension. So it is basically a revision type, there is nothing new in that. So whenever a capillary tube is placed in a liquid, it rises up the tube to a certain distance. So whenever we are adding or placing any liquid, due to the capillary action and the buoyant force acting on it, the liquid rises. By measuring this rise, it is possible to find out the surface tension. It is not possible to obtain interfacial tension using this capillary rise method. So in our previous slide only we had discussed that each and every method are not applicable to each and every condition. So depending upon your necessity and your needs, you have to select this method. So this method is only applicable to find out the surface tension. So now you need to again know what is cohesive force, what is adhesive force. In our previous video we had already discussed about this, but these two terms are very essential in this whole unit, so we will be revising it again. So the cohesive force, it is the force existing between the like molecules in the surface of a liquid. So the force between the like molecules is called the cohesive force, and the force existing between the unlike molecules like liquid and the wall of glass capillary tube is the adhesive force. So whenever the force of adhesion exceeds the force of cohesion, then the liquid spreads in the capillary and it starts rising in the tube, and then we can be able to find out the surface tension. Now if capillary tube having the radius r is immersed in a liquid and it gets wet due to the presence of liquid, then liquid continues to rise in the tube due to the surface tension until the upward movement is just balanced by the downward force of gravity due to the weight of liquid. So liquid rises to a certain distance, and till a particular height the liquid get rise, as the force which is to be maintained whenever the equilibrium is established between the upward movement and the downward force which is existing due to the gravity, and whenever the equilibrium is get established, at that point the liquid rise will be stopped. And so the unless and until the balance is not get established, the liquid movement won't stop. So the upward component of the force resulting from the surface tension of the liquid at any point on the circumference is given by A is equal to y cos theta. So the upward component force, that is the force existing at the upper surface for determining the surface tension, can be given by the circumference, that is A is equal to y cos theta. Now, so the total upward force inside circumference of the tube can be given by 2 pi ry cos theta, where angle theta is the contact angle between the surface of the liquid and capillary wall. So, angle theta is the angle which is obtained between the surface of a liquid and capillary wall. 2 pi r is the circumference of the capillary, and for water, as the angle is insufficient, the liquid wets the capillary, and so here the cos theta becomes 1, so its value is equal to 1. So this is the formula in order to determine the surface tension by capillary rise method. So you need to remember this with its diagram. Now the downward force of gravity can be find out by mass into acceleration is given by pi r square h rho minus rho 0 g plus w. So now pi r square is the cross sectional area, h is the height of the liquid medium, then rho minus rho 0 is equal to density difference between the liquid and the vapor. So here the density of liquid is rho and that of the vapor is rho 0. G is the acceleration due to gravity, and then W is the weight of the upper part of the meniscus of the liquid. So this is the downward force value which get exerted due to the acceleration due to gravity. So at maximum height, the opposing forces are in equilibrium with each other. So downward force is equals to upward force. So 2 pi ry cos theta is the upward force, and pi r square h rho minus rho 0 into g plus w is the downward force. So rho 0, theta and w are usually be disgraded, and hence the surface tension can be calculated as we have remove this value of density of vapor, then the angle theta and the weight. So 2 pi ry is equal to pi r square h rho g. So the value of surface tension obtained is pi r h rho g by 2. So the value obtained of the surface tension can be easily be calculated by the cross multiplication, and the final value obtained is r h rho g by 2. So that is the formula for determining the surface tension by capillary rise method. Now we will see the second one method, which is called ring Dunois tensiometer for measuring surface and interfacial tension. So this method is applicable for both surface as well as the interfacial tension. So the principle of the instrument is dependent on the fact that the force necessary to detach a platinum iridium ring immersed at the surface or interface is proportional to the surface or interfacial tension. So here basically the platinum iridium ring is there, which is useful in this, and so that ring is immersed at the surface or at the interface, and it is then directly proportional to the surface or interfacial tension. So the force of detachment is recorded in dynes on a calibrated dial. So force is calculated in the CGS unit, as CGS unit of force is dynes. So surface tension given by this method is F divided by 2 pi r1 plus r2, where F is the detachment force and r1 and r2 are the inner and outer radius of the ring respectively. So you need to remember this method as well as this formula in order to find out the surface tension by this method. Now this is the diagram of this method. So here you can see in the first diagram that the ring is placed on the sample holder and the force is acting, or the force measuring device is placed, and then in the second figure you can see that the ring is placed on the liquid and the force measuring device is also kept, and the volume of liquid being weighed is kept by a balance. And here in the third figure the platinum iridium ring is placed and the upward force which is acting is clearly shown here. So by this diagrammatically also you can understand the mechanism or principle. So as we have known in our previous slide that the principle of the instrument is dependent on the fact that force necessary. So the force which is acting in the upward direction, which is getting attached to a platinum iridium ring. See, you can see here that force is acting on the upward direction towards the platinum iridium ring. So that force which is acting due to that ring is directly proportional to the surface as well as the interfacial tension. So by knowing this mechanism or by knowing this principle, you can easily understand this method. Now the last method, and this method you might have performed in your lab scale also. So whenever we have to determine the surface tension at our lab, we generally use drop weight and drop volume method. So if the volume or weight of drop as it is detached from a tip of known radius is determined, then the surface and interfacial tension can be calculated by surface tension is equals to correction factor. It is essential or it is not mandatory that every time we need to keep the correction factor. This correction factor is only for the accuracy purpose. So correction factor into mass into g, that is the acceleration due to gravity, divided by 2 pi r. So similarly we can say that correction factor into volume into density into gram divided by 2 pi r. So as mass is equals to volume into density. So by replacing the value of mass with the volume and density, we can substitute its position. So mass of the drop is given by volume into density. V is the volume of drop, r is the radius of the tip, then g is acceleration due to gravity, and the correction factor is required for only the accuracy purpose, and the tip of the liquid must be wetted so that the drop do not climb out. As here we are using the stalagmometer, so there are chances that at the tip of the stalagmometer the drop of the liquid might remain. So we have to do this practical with full accuracy, and that's why the need of correction factor is there here in this method. So the final formula for finding out the surface tension by this method is correction factor into volume into density into acceleration due to gravity, and then divided by 2 pi r, or simply the circumference of the liquid. Now this is the diagram of stalagmometer, and by this method you can easily find out, or this method can be performed by drop weight and drop count. So first of all, what happens in this method, that you have to take a liquid. For example, say you are taking a water as an inorganic solvent, and then say you are taking a benzene as an organic solvent. So by comparing its density you can also determine, and we have to first of all, with the help of rubber cork, we have to generate a suction pressure by which the water or say benzene can rise up to a particular level. So we need to keep that level of water or benzene between A and B, and then if we want to find out the drop weight, then we can find out the weight of 25 drops, and then we can calculate it. And if we want to find out the drop count, then we can take the 20 drops out of it, and then we can find out that which substance is having the highest surface tension. And for this method, first of all you need to find out the density of a liquid in which you are taking an experiment. So if you are doing the experiment with water or benzene or any alcohol, so first of all, with the help of R&D bottle, you need to find out its density, as you have find out in the formula that we need to have a density. So we need to first of all determine the density, and then we can conduct this experiment, and then after finishment of this experiment we can then directly substitute the value which we have obtained during the practical in its formula, and we can directly obtain its value of surface tension. So here we have finished the methods of determining the surface tension. It is basically three methods. So first one is the capillary rise method, then second one is the Dunoyer ring method or simply a tensiometer, and the third one is the drop count or the drop weight method by stalagmometer.